Hi, guys. Welcome. My name is Jordan Payne. Today, we're going to talk about the truth about the 4 hour and kind of settle the age-old debate. And what should you do? What should you do? Before we get started, I'm not a financial advisor. I am not licensed or certified to do that. If you follow what I do, you might make money. You might lose all your money. It kind of depends. Trading's not easy. And honestly, like, you probably will get punched by a gorilla in your jugular if you do what I do. That's how it is. 4 hour. I see it a lot. So these guys, you can call them gurus, educators, whatever you want to call them. These guys come on and they say, you've got to do the 1 minute. You got to do the 5 minute. You got to do the 15 minute. If it's not the hour, you're not doing this right. You've got to trade the daily, etc. And everybody has a bias and everyone has an opinion, which is cool. And a lot of times they're trying to get you to pick what they do so that you will buy what they sell. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a big fan of education and mentorship and coaching, consulting, all of that. I'm a big fan, but you've got to do things based on you. You've got to do things based on what fits for you. So the truth about the 4 hour time frame, and I'll show you here in a second on the screen, is that's what works for me. I have tried everything from the 10-second, 30-second, minute, 5-minute, 15, 30, 1 hour, all the way up to the 4 hour. For me specifically, how I view this and how I am helping people view it is, how much data do you need to see? Not necessarily me, not necessarily my style or like visually, like what works for me, but for you specifically, what data and aesthetically, what does it need to look like? Okay. For me, how my brain works and how I am, I need things to be simple. I need to be able to look at something and say, that's what's going on, then be able to make a decision fairly quickly. I didn't do good at math. I didn't do good at science. So it's just like the complication stuff for me doesn't work. And I've noticed that the simpler I get with my charting, the easier I'm able to make decisions confidently, therefore make more money. So let's look at some stuff. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to look at Trading View here. Good old Trading View. Here's a trade I'm actually in. This is on Platinum. I'll show you how I came to this decision and made this trade here in a minute. But long story short, how much data do you need? So if you guys come to the 1 minute, what you're going to see is a massive amount of information and data. Okay? Like, you can't even really see the candles because I have to zoom out so far. Now, could you draw conclusions from this? Yes, you can. Does this give you the data that you need? I don't know. For me, this is a lot going on. Okay? Even the 15-minute, let's go to the 5-minute. There's still a lot going on. I'm a little bit confused on what the market is doing right now. You might look at this and say, man, I know exactly what's going on. You're a reverse this, that, zigzag trade. Cool, man. So can we still trade this and make conclusions from this? Yes, you could. For me, what I would look at is kind of this. Here is your trend, and you would stay in this trade until you broke this trend, until it broke the trend. You'd stay in this trade. Okay? Now, some of you guys are looking for more entries. Some of you guys have a preference of scalping. Same thing, 5-minute chart. If you wanted some entries, you could enter, 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 enter. If you guys wanted to scalp both sides of the coin or both sides of the chart, you could do that. It's not my gig, but you guys could do this. Something like, let me make this a little bit nicer for you. Something like this. What you could do is you could take both sides of it. Boom, boom. One more up there. You could do that. It's just, do you want to take this many trades? And do you want to be doing this like every 3:25 a.m., 4:45 a.m., 3:50 a.m.? Here's a little bit more current, 5:05. Do you want to trade that much? For me, what I did, as you can see, is I got into a trade right here. Right here, I said. Right here. right when we transition into this trend. I'm up $1,100. I've already closed out one position or one contract for 1,000. So I am $2,115 up. I want to get into this trade, which I did, and I just want to be done until this thing changes. This to me is too much. So for me, I'm looking at it more like this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. 1 second here. Woof. There we go. A little bit better. A little bit better. I'm looking at it like this, man. Like, to me, this is simple, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to have the same trend. Here's that same trend, right? And here's the trend before it. Guess what? Simple. Here's this trend. This trend, I said, like that. When it broke out of this trend, I got into the trade. To me, this is great. Let's look at something different, though. For those of you guys that are like, man, I really only want to do the daily. Cool, man. Same thing. You broke out of your daily trend. You jumped into it. If this is simpler for you, like, you've got a couple different trends here going, doing that. So I say all this to say that a lot of people are going to preach one thing or the other simply to sell you something, which again, I'm a big fan of education and all of that. But if it's not what is working for you, if it's not what's going to like visually work for you and know exactly what's going on, that's the goal here. You want to know exactly what's going on with the market within a couple of seconds versus like it taking you an hour. I mean, it took me an hour to figure out what was going on. I want to be able to look at it and be like, boom, upward trend. Then we were in a downward trend. Now we're in an upward trend again. Boom, boom, boom. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in profit. Okay, that's me. Does that make sense? What do you need on your chart to tell you what the market's doing quickly? Here's a better question. What don't you need on your chart? If you guys are seeing this at all, I have 0 indicators on here. 0 indicators. Made $1,000 earlier this morning. I'm up another $1,000, a couple $1,000 for the day. I might try to close out around $3,000 or $4,000 for the day. This trade could go another couple days. We'll see. What could you remove from your screen? If you're finding that you're confused, and you're finding that you often don't know what to do, you don't know what to trade, you don't know if you should be selling, buying, you don't know where your stop loss should go, you don't know where your take profit should go. If you find yourself in that scenario often and you are second guessing, and that's forcing you to get out of trades too soon and not hold trades long enough, I would encourage you to jump up to a higher time frame. That we do know. For most people, the higher time frame is going to give you more clarity in a simplified way as far as understanding what the market's doing. Okay? So if you're struggling, that is my recommendation. That is what you should do. Cool? Guys, if I can do anything for you, don't hesitate to let me know. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Help a brother out. We do all of this stuff for free. Yes, we have a paid community and coaching, consulting, mentorship. Yes, we have indicators that we use, etc. Automations, PAM accounts, bots, all of that. But bare minimum, I want to jump in here and give you guys value for free. So if you guys would subscribe, maybe leave me a comment down below and tell me if this was valuable to you or not. That'd be greatly appreciated. We'll see you guys here soon.